It looks like Joseline Hernandez and Amber Rose feud has been reignited when Amber Rose went on Club Shay Shay and let it be known the reason that her and Joseline Hernandez really got into that fight that we saw on College Hill Celebrity Edition. And listen, you better believe we're going to talk about it, okay? Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed to the channel before, go ahead, click that subscribe button below if you don't mind. While you're down there, press the thumbs up button and like this video. If you don't do anything else, liking this video helps me get into the algorithm, so I would really appreciate that. Join the conversation and get in the comment section below and leave me your thoughts and opinions on this story. Are you Team Joseline or are you Team Amber? I'm going to tell you what team I'm on, all right? And last but not least, if you would like to donate to the channel to help us grow and sustain, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate. All right, we got Cash App, we got PayPal, we got Venmo, we got Zelle, we got the Amazon wish list down there too, baby. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Now let's get into this story. Now we all know what happened between Amber Rose and Joseline, and if you don't know, they were on BET's College Hill Celebrity Edition. Y'all remember that show, College Hill, back in the day on BET? They did a Celebrity Edition, right? Joseline and Amber were both on this Celebrity Edition of the show. And they went viral on social media when they both got into this fight in one of the classrooms. They were at, what school? It was a college in Alabama. What was that college they were at? Was it? I don't remember what college they were at. Anyway, they were at an HBCU in Alabama. They both got into an altercation in the classroom, and it resulted in a fight. BET ended up pulling the footage because of controversy, and it wasn't a good look for the network, and and the school and what they were trying to do. But the footage ended up getting leaked online, okay? Now, I'm not going to play it here only because the video will get flagged for violence. But I am going to play for you what Amber Rose had to say about what sparked their fight, okay? What started this escalation in this fight. And I think it's very interesting what she had to say. And people aren't really taking what she had to say serious, in my opinion, because she's a Trump supporter. Okay, now if y'all don't know that, if you've been living under a rock, Amber Rose has been supporting Donald Trump, going to his rallies, and that's in her right as an American, right? Whatever, that's her right. But let's take Donald Trump out of this, and let's hear what Amber had to say about her altercation with Joseline.
Right, you guys make up?
No.
Damn! Tell us how you really feel.
Forever. Kurt. She's a dumb, stupid.
Oh Lord, come on, Lord.
She's an ignorant, and I don't think about her, but I just don't like her. There's no reason to forgive her.
What led to this? Why was it like this? How did it become so contentious?
You know, I never said this, Shannon. I'm gonna say this on your show,
okay,
and I'm gonna give the truth to the world, to the internet. Okay.
Okay.
Joseline Hernandez was trying to have sex with me. The whole time I was on College Hill, she was in my ear. She was saying, just give me a chance one time, but if you cool with it, we can do it in front of my husband. But if not, like, it could just be me and you. And at first I was nice. And I said, I'm flattered. It's just not my thing.
Right.
In my ear again, coming over, like having a dress on and going like this, bending over, a coochie out.
What?
Yes. And it was loud.
Did you tell her, like, look, I like the Arm& Hammer?
I did. She knew that.
Okay.
She knew that. I'm a heterosexual woman.
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff.
Heavy on the hetero.
Heavy on the hetero.
Okay.
So, it's Joseline. She's bending over, showing me her vagina, and I'm laughing. I'm like, girl, you crazy.
If you was a man, you'd be attracted to that, but you're not attracted. That's not your thing. Okay.
Joseline's a beautiful girl.
Yes.
An idiot,
yeah.
But she's a beautiful girl, right? I'm not going to deny that. So anyway, when I have respectfully declined on numerous occasions, then she started bullying me with the race. Why you sound white? Why you talk white? Why this and that, blah, blah, blah. But you black. Why you act white? All this. And I'm like, You're like obsessed with me.
Whoo, child, a lot to unpack here, okay? Where do we begin? All right, so first of all, Amber says, let me adjust my camera here. Amber says, quote, when Shannon asks her, are you and Joseline cool? Have you talked to her? She's like, hell no. He's like, well, what happened? What started this fight in the classroom? She says, quote, I never said this, but I'm going to give the truth to the world on your show. That's what we heard, right? She says, Joseline Hernandez was trying to have sex with me. The whole time I was on College Hill, she was in my ear. Just give me a chance one time, but if you're cool with it, we can do it in front of my husband, or it can just be me and you. At first, I was nice and I said I'm flattered, but it's just not my thing. Now, as I said earlier, a lot of people do not believe Amber. I saw a lot of comments that said, oh, Amber's just jealous that Joseline's having so much success with the cabaret right now. And I'm like, what? I don't think Amber gives a shit, but she was asked in an interview. Let's just think common sense here. Let's think logically. Let's leave biases out of it and what celebrity we like more out of it, right? Amber was asked a question. I'm sure she's not thinking about Joseline, and I'm sure she wanted to give insight once and for all what happened, because all we saw as viewers was them like fighting in a classroom. We didn't really get a lot of context. So she's trying to provide us context. People say, oh, she's trying to be relevant. He asked her a question and she's trying to give context on it, and I'll believe her what she says. Listen, I don't care for Amber Rose. I've never really cared for her. Um, but before I didn't really care for her. I wasn't like a crazy fan of her, but I did not like her, and then she started doing the Trump thing and I was like, oh girl. But I still respect people regardless of who you vote for and what you believe in. I can still respect you. And this has, like I said, this has nothing to do with her political beliefs. If we take everything out of it, who she dated, Kanye West, her political beliefs with Trump, take all that out of it and just have two people telling this story, I believe her, because here's the thing. I've been covering Joseline Hernandez for quite a few years. Well, not quite a few years on my channel, right? And this sounds very familiar to the behavior that I have seen her display on television, and also it sounds like the behavior that I have talked about and reported here on my channel, okay? Because in this video, Amber says that Joseline says, just give me a chance one time, and if you're cool with it, we can do it in front of my husband, or it can be just me and you. Now, if you've been a part of my channel for quite a while, if you've watched any of my Joseline's Cabaret recaps, especially this past season, season 5, I said this. I said the way Joseline brings all these beautiful women around her and her husband, and the way she flirts with them, the way she touches them, the way she talks dirty to them in a power position that she's in. In my opinion, I'm not saying Joseline does this, but in my opinion, Joseline leverages her power position and uses it to her advantage to manipulate these girls, because these girls want to be on this show, Joseline's Cabaret. These girls want to, be famous, be a star, so they're willing to do whatever. And I said on Joseline's Cabaret season 5 recaps that I believe that, in my opinion, that Joseline and her husband bring these girls on the cast back to their room after filming and have sex with them. I believe that. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it happened. I'm saying based off the footage that I watch, that's what it seems like to me. So when Amber said this, it set off red flags in my head. I'm like, oh, this seems really familiar to me. Now, granted, I'm not saying that we know Joseline to do that. And I'm not saying Joseline is a pred a tour, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. Um, but we do know that she likes women. That's a Fenty fact. She's been very honest and open about being a bisexual woman. She's been very open and honest before about having threesomes with her husband. So would it be far-fetched for her to be having threesomes with the cabaret girls? Would it be far-fetched for her to try to lure? That's a terrible word. I don't want to say lure because I don't feel like she lured anybody. Would it be would it be off the wall for Joseline to try to get Amber to get into bed with her and her husband and have a threesome? It's not that off the wall considering the way Joseline has behaved in the past. I mean, this is not something I'm making up, y'all. If you've watched it, you've seen her. She'll say she wants to lick your pussy. She wants to take you back to the room with her and her. She said all of that. We can go watch it on the footage now. Amber went on and she said, Joseline's in my ear again, coming over in a dress and bending over with her coochie out, and it was loud. I said, no, wait a minute. Skirt, put it in reverse. Beep, 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 beep. Back it up. What you say? It was loud. What was loud, Amber? The coochie? The cat? Amber. I know you ain't talking about the scat pack was loud. I know she ain't talking about, because she said Joseline came over, bending over in a dress with her coochie out, and it was loud. What else does she mean by loud other than the smell? Listen, I love you, Joseline. I think you're gorgeous. I like the way you are. I like the way I come in real sexy walking, and of course I get straight to dancing. I love you, Joseline, so don't take this some kind of way. But she said yo coochie was loud. You could have left that part out, Amber. You could have left that part out. Now, Shannon Sharp. Lord have mercy, I got so many thoughts about him. Shannon says, now, did Joseline not know that you liked the Arm& Hammer? Talking about, dick. Did Joseline not know that you liked dick? And Amber says, yes, she knew that. I'm a heterosexual woman. And he says, heavy on the hetero. Heavy on the hetero. Heavy on the hetero. And I'm just like, y'all know Shannon goes into overtime trying to prove that he's a heterosexual man. Heavy on the hetero. You know what I'm saying? If you follow Shannon Sharp on social media, his career, the blogs, if you follow the T like I follow the T, or I don't really follow the T, but I do follow the T on Instagram, and I see stuff when I'm scrolling, and Shannon Sharp has had a lot of rumors about his sexuality, and he does not help himself at all when it comes to dispelling those rumors. Let's just say that, okay? He makes it seem even more obvious than what it is, from them tight ass pants and clothes that he be wearing, from his postures to the little gay boy that he be bringing to the courtside games that was his assistant. Yeah, Shannon be doing a lot to try to prove he ain't gay or he ain't bisexual or whatever. That's why he said heavy on the hetero. Now Amber goes on to say she's bending over and showing me her vagina, and I'm laughing like, girl, you crazy. And and when you're putting uncomfortable positions like that, when you have unwanted advances, you tend, because I've had some unwanted advances. I'm sure we've all had some in our life, right? You can relate to Amber in this moment when she says, I'm laughing and saying, girl, you crazy. Because sometimes in those positions of when you're having someone, come on to you and you don't want it, you do a few things. You either fight, flight, or in some instances, you may just laugh it off, like, quit, girl, quit. Like, especially if it's a friend or someone close to you. Typically, when it's a stranger, you fight or flight. But when it's somebody close to you, you might be like, girl, what the fuck you doing, bro? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I can see what Amber is saying in that moment. It sounds very believable compared to Joseline and her response and what she had to say about it. And we're going to get into that in a second. Now, Amber says, she's bending over, showing me her vagina, and I'm laughing like, girl, you crazy. Shannon says, yeah, if you were a man, you'd be attracted to that. But that's not your thing. What? What? No, that's not how it works, Miss Shannon, okay? You think that's how it works because you've been conditioned to think that way. You've been conditioned to think that way, and I think that's why you struggle with your sexuality, in my opinion. Let it be clear. Let me shout it to the rooftops. In my opinion, I'm not saying Shannon Sharp is gay. But for him to say, now I know what he was trying to say, but this is just suspect. If you were a man, you'd be attracted to that, but that's just not your thing. That trying to, we're heterosexual people up here. We're not into that. You're not into that. That kind of thing. Like, I feel like a real straight man wouldn't say that. They would just be like, "Yep, okay, just listen. You ain't gotta heavy on the hetero. We get it. You're straight, Shannon. You're straight, okay? We get it. You accidentally went live on Instagram having sex with a woman. Accidentally. Okay. Um and just because here's why I had a problem with his statement, him saying, even though I knew what he was trying to say, him saying if you were a man, you'd be attracted to that, but that's not your thing. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you're attracted to vagina. Contrary to what you've been conditioned to believe. That's that conditioning. That's that, if I have a gay thought, no. Men's supposed to be with women. Man's lies with women. Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. No, no, get that out of my thought. Heavy on the hetero. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. Amber goes on to say that Joseline started bullying her with race, asking why you act white, why you talk white, why you acting like that. And listen, again, I don't care for Amber Rose, but I believe it. That's typical Joseline behavior. That sounds like her. And Joseline is used to being able to make these advances to pretty ass girls like the girls in the cabaret or whatever girls in the world that, these random girls, whoever. And these girls saying yes because she's Joseline Hernandez. But when you have somebody like Amber Rose, who is, almost at that same level, if not the same level or more, whatever, however y'all want to categorize or judge that, when you have somebody like that, they're not impressed by Joseline. They're not impressed by the stardom or who she is. Because Amber's in that world. So she's not interested in a threesome, and she's not going to be, manipulated into one. And I think that's when Joseline got pissed. And that's when the bullying started, according to Amber. That's when the race stuff started. Why you act white? Why you talk white? Why? And I had that problem growing up. I resonated with Amber in that. Growing up, people would say to me, I, people in my family even, why you act white? You want to be white? You think because you look white that you're white? Even though I was biracial and mixed, you could never win. And Amber is like me, biracially mixed. You can't. You're either too white, too black, not black enough, not white enough, right? And Joseline is that type. She don't get her way, she lashes out, and that's what she did here. Now she saw the blogs going up. She saw everybody talking about this, and she took to her social media and put out an Instagram story. Okay, now this is what Joseline had to say, okay? And she says, I do not condone any form of sexual misconduct. As a survivor myself, this is a deeply personal issue. It's disheartening when people exploit serious matters for personal gain, as it undermines real victims and fuels doubt about their experiences. Media outlets must be more responsible in investigating allegations before spreading misinformation, as reckless reporting harms both the accused and true survivors. I stand for truth and accountability. Joseline ain't right, Dad. Joseline ain't right, Dad. That was a PR person. Somebody wrote that for her, okay? And to me, I don't think it. Listen, I get she's got to defend herself and she's going to deny it, but I believe it happened. And this is what listen, I know Joseline has went through things in the past with sexual abuse, and I hate that that happened to her, but it's not an excuse, and it doesn't give you the reason to throw it up into Amber's face this way and say, well, this didn't happen and you're using that against real victims. Like, don't try to manipulate the situation, Joseline. You have a history of trying to bring people in the bedroom with you and your man. You've said it before. You've said it. You talk about how you want to lick the cat. You've been very raunchy with your mouth, and you're very she's very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Persistent with what she wants. Okay, let's just say that. Joseline, in my opinion, can be very persistent with what she wants, and when she don't get what she wants, she turns, mean. We saw it on her show. We've seen it on her show plenty of times. And let's be honest, Joseline's been open about her cocaine use, and we know when we've watched her on the show, high as Cooter Brown, high as giraffe pussy, high as the sun is day is long, child. Just she would get high and just go in on people. And during the time she filmed College Hill was during some of those times. So listen, I ain't saying that's why, but you know what I mean? Am I making sense to y'all here? Now, Joseline is allegedly been threatening bloggers who talk about this story. But that's okay, Joseline, because if you see this, I'm not worried about it. I ain't scared of you, and I wasn't scared of Zeus when they came after me either. So do what y'all got to do, because I know at the end of the day what God has for me, He's got for me. Okay? And I know that I entertain lots of people, and I make them laugh, and I bring joy into their lives. And I'm not doing anything any worse than anybody else on YouTube who has a blog and talks about celebrity pop culture media. Okay? I'm not the only one. I don't make the news, I just report it. And we just talk about it up here. You might not like my opinion on it, but do I not have an opinion as 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 my right as an American citizen? Do I not have the right to get up here and give my opinion on the content that you're putting out the same way people comment and put their opinions on the content that I'm putting out and give their opinions? And they have that right. Do I not have that right? Why she want to threaten bloggers with lawsuits and allegedly saying she'll, I'll do lawsuit. If it's not true, let the story simmer down and move on because we'll forget about it next week. But sometimes when a hit dog hollers, the whole town hear it. And I'm just saying, okay? Um, what do y'all think about this story? I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Again, I want to make it crystal clear. I'm not an Amber fan. I've never been an Amber fan. She's never really had a talent. What did we know Amber for? She dated Kanye West. She got a baby by Tyga. She did the slut walk years ago, which was about women's empowerment and being free and fucking and doing what you want to do. And now she's reformed. She's a reformed slut, as she said. And she's, a Republican and supporting Donald Trump and going to, was at the Republican National Convention and all that good stuff. So that's all I know Amber Rose for. That's not my cup of tea. But when I look at this story, the facts are not, I don't want to say the facts are the facts because we don't really know the facts. But going based off of what we've seen and what we've heard, I believe Amber. And we saw on the episode where Joseline was doing the whole, why do you want to be white? Why do you act white? Why do you want to be white? Well, here's what I want to know, Joseline. Were you claiming your black side before it was cool to be black? I'm just saying. I'm not saying she didn't claim her black side. And I'm not talking about loving hip hop that I'm talking about pre-loving hip hop. I'm talking about before we knew you. Because a lot of folks did that. A lot of biracial people would sway to a side that was more convenient and easier for them to live their lives. You understand what I'm saying? Going to an all-white school and being biracial, I was never ashamed of it. I would always, I would tell people I'm half black, and they would look at me like I'm crazy. Because going to an all-white school, people didn't really get that. They're like, how are you half black when you have white skin? You know what I'm saying? I was never really ashamed of it. But, early 2000s, 90s, a lot of biracial people like myself would say, oh, I'm white. I'm white. I'm white. I know a girl today who is mixed and actually looks mixed and claims that, oh, I'm white, girl. So there's also a lot of, do you call it Afro Latina? There's also a lot of biracial Latina black girls who back in the day would claim they were just Latina. They wasn't black. They were mixed, we had black in them, but they might have looked more Latina or they might have had the accent, and they only claimed that Latina side because that was the more convenient side. So why you talking about you? Why you trying to be white? I don't think Amber tries to be white. I don't think so. I mean, I've never ever thought that about her. But hey, listen, I want to hear from you. Get in the comment section. Leave me your thoughts and opinions on this. Be honest. Whose side are you on? Team Joseline or Team Amber? Do y'all think Amber just pulled this story up out of her ass and made it up? I don't know. Maybe Club Shay Shay gave her all the questions beforehand and she thought to herself, what am I going to say when he asked me about Joseline? Oh, I know. I'll say that she tried to put me in the bedroom with her and ballistic. I just don't believe that that was happened. That's what happened. I believe what Amber said, that Joseline did all that. That's just me. Leave me your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. Click that thumbs up button and like this video if you enjoyed this content. I truly appreciate that so much. And last but not least, if you'd like to donate to the channel and support your boy, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate, all right? I appreciate you again for being here, for watching this video. Stay tuned for more content and the Baddies Midwest After Show each and every week right here only on Damien After Dark. Don't forget to follow me at Damien Gentry on all platforms, in the description box below, at DAMIEONGENTRY. Love you for watching.